Attack. The Muslim community in Ho has rejected the 2-week closure of the Ho Central Mosque effective today. The Volta Regional Security Council ordered the closure following a gun attack that left 11 worshippers injured. Less than 24 hours after the announcement, community leaders say they oppose the shutdown, calling it disruptive and unfair. They argue that enhanced security rather than closure would be appropriate. And let's take a look at that statement that they brought, rejecting that directive by the RESEC in the Volta region. Now, according to that statement, for many years we've prayed peacefully in this mosque without incident. The peace of the mosque was only disrupted when the group led by Ali Muniru forcefully entered the mosque with armed men, during which gunshots were fired within the mosque premises. This act endangered lives and violated the sanctity of a place of worship. Instead of ensuring adequate security and protection for the Muslim community, after this violent incident, the actions of the regional minister appear to favor the Ali Muniru family rather than uphold justice, neutrality, and the rule of law. They are asking the following questions. 1. What concrete actions has the regional minister taken since the shooting incident at the mosque? 2. Were the perpetrators of the violence properly investigated and prosecuted? 3. Why is a peaceful Muslim community being punished through the closure of its central mosque? And the last one, does the right to freedom of worship as guaranteed by the Constitution of Ghana no longer apply to the Muslims of Ho? We wish to state clearly that the closure of the Ho Central Mosque is unacceptable. The Muslim community of Ho will continue to demand justice, security, and respect for our constitutional right to worship freely and peacefully. We call on the appropriate authorities, civil society organizations, and the media to take keen interest in this matter and ensure that fairness and justice prevail. And this was signed by Abdul Razak Abubakar, Secretary. Now we go on the Zoom lines and speak to the assistant to the National Chief Imam, Abubakar Azindo. We're grateful for your time, Abubakar, for joining us this afternoon. Well, this is the statement coming from the Muslim community there in Ho. Have you received the statement or even seen it? What do you make of the statement? Kindly unmute and speak to us. Mr. Azindo, can you hear me now? Unmute and speak to us. Well, we're still trying to establish contact with Mr. Azindo, but we know now that the Muslim community in Ho are against the Regional Security Council putting a stop or closing down the mosque, the central mosque in the region, saying that it is trampling on their worship there. Abubakar now joins us. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Great. I believe you've seen this statement from the Muslim community in Ho. What action are you taking on this?
Well, I see it as very unfortunate because I think it is a demonstration of the inability of some of us in the Muslim community to look at the issue holistically. First of all, we need to understand that it is not a mere issue of religion. It has become a multidimensional issue involving national security, societal stability, and criminal justice. And it is important for all of us to understand that, yes, everybody is entitled to constitutional rights and democratic freedoms. But we should also understand that these rights and freedoms are not in isolation. They are within the confines of safety. So in a situation where safety is is not available, definitely it will be difficult for us to understand, to enjoy these rights. Even in established democracies, when the need arises, especially in the face of conflicts, a state of emergency can be imposed, and constitutional rights and democratic liberties would be curtailed. So we need to understand.
Dr. Azindo, are you in support of the closure of the mosque there?
As it will bring peace. I strongly believe that the closure of the mosque has been due to the violence, and the national security, the Regional Security Council made it clear when it issued that statement that the mosque will be closed for only a period of 2 weeks. And it is because of peace. So if it is because of peace that the mosque is closed temporarily, of course we are in support of it. Because at the end of the day, if there's no peace, who lives home? If you do a factual and critical analysis of the statement issued by my brothers and sisters in the Zango community, you will figure out a clash of two values. One, safety. Two, rights. Yes, I agree with them that they are Ghanaians. They are entitled to their constitutional rights, but those constitutional rights are only enjoyed in an ideal situation, not in a state of conflict.
Well,
and when conflict arises, everything subordinates to peace.
Right. So the concern too is tomorrow is Juma. They have no alternative to conduct the Juma, except in the mosque. And now that the mosque has been shut, what next step will they have to take? Are there preparations, for them to, observe the Juma tomorrow?
It gives you alternatives at all their decision, and abide by the recommendation so far, or what the decision of the Regional Security Council. My dear sister, if you remember, in our last conversation, I mentioned two issues escalating this incident. One, non-compliance, and two, non-enforcement. So in this case, I'm appealing to my black community to reconsider their decision and comply by whatever measure, and comply with whatever measure that has been suggested for now. And then I will also appeal to the security agencies in the region to do everything possible to enforce the measure. If we continue to have a state of non-compliance and non-enforcement, then of course, whatever we are doing will not be reconciliatory, but escalatory. Allah, may God forbid. We want peace. Peace must prevail. Let it be clear that yes, all these constitutional questions they have posed are legitimate, but the legitimacy of those questions can only be seen by everybody in an ideal situation, not in a state of conflict.
Well, that said, that means that the Juma observation should not be held.
It should be held, but somewhere, not in the mosque. That's what I'm saying. In Islam.
And Dr. Azindo, so the situation now is that the mosque is shut. They don't have an alternative. So in this situation, what then will be the alternative moving forward? Should they do it individually in their homes? Is that the other option moving forward? No, so that to ensure the peace, nothing untoward happens.
In the first place, it will be very difficult for anybody, anywhere, to claim that there's no alternative. I'm a Muslim, and I know the structure of the Zango community and the nature of the Muslim prayer. It will be unacceptable for anybody to conclude that there's no alternative. There is an alternative. Any mosque any mosque in that area can be used. Even when there is no mosque, I am telling you that within the context of flexibility of Islamic religion, they can pray in an open area. It can be done. Right. One thing I want to emphasize is that, yes, we should help them to enjoy their constitutional rights. And I will be the first person to defend their constitutional rights and democratic liberties. But those rights and liberties can only be enjoyed when the situation is normal. That's why I'm saying that in all civilized communities, everything subordinates to peace.
Right, right.
Of course, let me add one thing. The compliance and the enforcement should also be handled within the context of justice, because we are told that justice and the peace is a legitimate sum of justice. But until we all accept the need to de-escalate, we cannot even understand the direction of the pursuit of peace and justice.
Right.
I'm appealing to both. The Regional Security Council should do its rightful responsibility of enforcement, and our brothers and sisters in the tribal community should also, in the name of Almighty Allah, have an alternative place for work.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Abubakar Azindo. He's spokesperson for the National Chief Imam.